I'm going to show you how to add on to this head of this bear and end up giving him a nose and eyebrows and a mouth and some ears possibly. So we're going to get started by, I'm going to tip his head up a little bit so that you can see him a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to start out by rolling a very tiny coil, and I've got one here, really tiny coil. And I'm going to cut two pieces of this coil. I'm going to cut one, then I'm going to put this beside this one and cut this one so that my coils are roughly the same size. This one looks like it might be a little bit bigger. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch the sides of this down so that it's tapered. And then I'm going to pinch the front of the eyelid just a little bit, so that it is tapered in the front and it's still nice and full on the back. Let's do that on this one too. Remember, as you are sculpting anything in pairs like eyes or eyelids or ears, make them at the same time so that you are making them the same size. Okay, there we've got two eyelids. Now I'm going to take my needle tool and I'm going to score around the eyes, and I might as well score the lower area as well. I know I'm going to be adding clay there too, but right now all I'm doing is adding on the upper lid. I'm going to score the lid, get a little bit of slip. I've got my slip container here. I'm going to use my paintbrush because what we're dealing with is quite small at this point. And I'm going to very carefully add on that upper lid. Now it extends a pretty far over, so I'm going to cut off what I don't need. Just make sure that that is compressed in nicely. Alright, let's add this other one. I still need to score over here. I already know that this is going to be a little too big. That's okay. I can still work with it and cut off the extra that I don't need. Place it in around, compressing, but not squishing, just compressing. Make sure that they're even. You want to really make sure that you are even. And then I'm going to cut off that little bit there so that they kind of match now, right? I can tilt his head forward a little bit so that you can see the tops of the eyelids. I'm going to use this wooden stylus tool to smudge the clay back so that that eyelid is not an obvious joint anymore. It's now smudged in neatly and looks like it's just part of, because I mean this is a bear, so he's going to have fur, right? You wouldn't be able to see his upper and lower lids. So I think this is probably enough clay for both of these under eye areas. I'm going to cut it in half. Oops. Cut it in half. And roll it a little bit thinner. I'll do one and then I'll do the other, just between my thumb and forefinger. And again, I'm going to compress the front of the lid. There's the lower lid for one side, and compress the front of it so that it's thinner in front, thicker at the back. I've already scored there. I'll score here, add a little bit of slip, and place this in under and curve it around. Let's get a tool to help because this is getting kind of small. Any extra clay, I'm just going to blend it in. I'm going to suddenly become right-handed here. Push that down, bring this up, push this down again, bring this up again. Looking okay to me. Now let's score this one, do the same thing. Tweezers would be really helpful. Let's push this in, push this down, because I did that on this side. Remember symmetry. Keep looking back and forth at your eyes. Try to get them as symmetrical as possible. But forgive yourself as well. Remember that all of this is handmade, and we're just learning. I'm not going to worry about refining these eyes too much at the moment. I am going to move on to the next step, which is making the nose. But I feel like this eye doesn't have as much definition as this eye, so I may become obsessed with that and need to spend a little more time on this eye to just have it have those same shadows that this one has. So I may spend some more time just kind of getting those eyes in place, but so far he's looking kind of like a bear. So let's take a look at how we're going to make his nose. And I highly recommend that you get pictures of the creature that you want to do and have some zoom in shots of those features. So I'm going to do this in the next video.